Okay, sweet. I'm never going to do this again in my life except for maybe for the next 6 years, which is gonna suck really bad. Because the only thing I know how to do, honestly, is not talk to people. I hate talking to people as well as my phone. I'd rather shut up and just talk to it with my brain like a normal person. But that privilege has been taken away from me. Uh, oh, so I just got out of a beautiful area. I hate doing this. This is my worst fear on earth. My worst fear on earth was going to be having to record every single instance of my life. Besides, just like, regular security. Hello! Good day. Nice dog. Because, like, the regular surveillance, right, that happens every day through satellites and, like, your TV and your phone, right? That's normal. That's what you pay for, right? I mean, we'd be like, oh, grow up. But the second they hear that, the fear starts to sink in, right? They start to remember, like, oh, shit. And it's weird when you listen to all of this, right? Because people, they try to ignore it as best they can, and they'll ignore it with anything, right? I have a hard time doing that entirely. The thing is, I've seen people do this, right? Like, even in person, right? And, and, like, seeing other people do it, it wasn't so weird. Because, like, for them, it's normal, right? Like, that's just what I'm sure people expect them to do. Oh, you know what? I love looking at gardens. Biodiversity gardens are my favorite type of garden. This person is, like, low-key the standard. So that's their whole garden. I apologize if they don't want to be complimented. But, yeah. If you're not gardening like that by, like, let's say 2 years, we're gonna lose the planet. All of the blue English grass that you see, that's on normal people's property, right? It's shit. It's so bad that, like, I would have to just honestly get someone else to explain it. Oh. But yeah, using biodiversity in your gardening is definitely going to help. So why? And here's the thing, people are lazy about it, right? Because they don't think that it's going to help them. They think it's just going to, just sit there and look pretty. But the thing is, the only time that it looks pretty is when it's working properly. And giving you the proper amount of area oxygen that you need, right? Actually, it's a big reason why most of the trees in Ottawa are dying. Because there's not enough biodiversity. So the oxygen levels are low, right? Because pollination needs biodiversity. And since there's not a lot of biodiversity in Ottawa, besides, government planted sumac and ivy and bluegrass and Norwegian trees, it's all just a bunch of shit. Quite literally, no, it's bad. Like, this entire lot The reason why it's so gray is because there's not enough carbon, and since there's no pollination in the soil, it just, and since there's not enough biodiversity, none of the grass wants to do its job because it's lonely. Like, plants, they have very similar electric neuronic currents as we do, right? Like, they need most of the same stuff. So when you don't nourish it with like diversity and water and sunlight and all the things that it needs, you end up getting smog, which is just more carbon in the air, because the grass is basically, hello puppy, this is very dark stuff, nice meeting you. Anyway, the grass is basically killing itself off along with the trees and creating smog and not eating the carbon and instead giving it to us. And you can tell by how brown it is. Yeah. Very dark stuff. Oh. Yeah. Whew, whew, whew. Oh, see? This is the most excellent example I can think of. And here's the thing, it's also right like above a gas line. So the gas seeping into the soil, right? That's also going to be killing any biodiversity you try to put in there. So gardening should probably be just like a regular everyday chore. But people refuse to do it. I definitely went the wrong way. Anyway, so I went the wrong way. I went way too far. Good spot though. I hate doing this. Which sucks because apparently that shouldn't matter. Oh. Oh my god. Yes, this is my first visit to this side of Ottawa. It's very beautiful here. A lot of you keep up nice lawns. Oh, this person got screwed though. They're on top of gas. Meaning it's pots for these people. Uh... You know, sometimes I feel like such a bad citizen, but truly, I'm just trying to check on my neighbors. Make sure they're okay. Like we were told to in the pandemic. And then we did that. And now we're all getting criminalized for it. If I'm not talking to a camera, I'm in trouble. Being outside is amazing. Oh.
Where my son lives in Western.
My smile is disgusting because I keep smoking darts. I would use puffers, but I'm not addicted to nicotine, and I keep explaining people this. It's not the nicotine that I go for, it's the tobacco. I genuinely like tobacco. And, I actually had someone give me a pack of indigenous cigarettes, which is awesome. If you can, you should always buy indigenous cigarettes. Which sucks because you have to go to the reserve. But I would ask if anyone does to splurge for the actual packs and not the bags. One, they're better, and two, it's better for everyone. Woo. This phone is very sensitive to touch. Nice seeing you. Sorry, I just saw someone and I had to thank them for all the good stuff they've done for me. All the grace and all the good. Also, never put your butt on the ground. It kills the environment. And by kill the environment, it doesn't decompose. It's one of those things that we need to throw into Pele. Actually, I've never explained the Pele mission in video, so that's probably a good thing to explain. So, volcanic eruptions, right? And this is very basic knowledge that you can acquire on YouTube, but, ooh, I can explain the most part of it. So, because of its very fertile ash, right? Because a volcano is basically the eruption of all of the decay, right? So, what people used to do on volcanic islands is throw, like, trash and shit in there, right? If you had a carcass or something, you would throw it in there. Other places in the world were too afraid of volcanoes because they didn't understand how they worked at the time. They only knew that they erupted and caused devastation, right? And since they had already made the decision to live close to them, they were stubborn. So they would just moat around the volcanoes and attempt to, check when the eruption would happen. This is not what you're supposed to be doing with them. And I mean, even though it's a social norm, this is not what we should be doing with them. What we should be doing is throwing our trash in there and then harvesting the ash, right, to create fertile soil, because it is the most fertile soil, besides, natural mulch pits. But it would be a great way to dispose of waste. Anyway, so this is actually my favorite thing in the world, right? There's a Japanese word for this that I have forgotten due to having memory problems. The translation is sunlight glistening through the trees. I'm good. How are you doing?
Enjoying the weather?
Yeah, it's great, eh?
Beautiful, huh?
Yeah, eh? Enjoy your walk, eh? The air with the river is great. Very refreshing. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, so Feed Pele is one of my catchphrases that I use to change the way we see and use volcanoes. Especially since we have made it so that the ground here, even if it is fertile, it's hard to revitalize. So, entire restart. On the other hand, this would mean relocation of a lot of people, but because governments don't want to feed Pele, and because they would rather have these people be on the streets, and I mean in Hawaii, I mean in, like, anywhere where there's, like, a volcano that is active, right? Because all the volcanoes in Hawaii are active. All of them. They are dormant because no one is using them, and since we are harvesting from the internal core of our planet instead of from the volcano, the volcanic level is low. So there's nothing in there right now. But there should be. Because if not, we have all these issues with our ecosystem. Which sucks because this is where we live, and we won't be able to discard this planet even when we go to leave for not even astral, for space travel, due to the fact that this is where a lot of our basic necessities come from. Like, the goal is to never lose this planet in its entirety until something that's happening in 3 billion years, which is the merge of 2 solar systems. So the Milky Way solar system and another solar system in about 3 billion years is about to switch directions, right? Which means we will have to meet everyone in there. Everyone in that galaxy we will have to meet. And if you try really, really hard, you can use your higher knowing to sort of understand where they're coming from, because they are probably equally as afraid to bump into us as we are. actually, if you check my Twitter, which is a very dark place to check, and be very mindful when you go to check it. I'm pretty sure that I retweeted the the proclamation of it. Which is simple, because this is very easy work to do once people have an understanding of it. Ooh, I might have to start getting walking soon. It's 11. So I'm gonna ground, have a smoke, and try to do this again.